booties for black girl nerds.
Antonio, wow, this was so amazing to me. I had to watch it twice, and I just
Thank
got
you.
so enthralled with these characters and just the layers and the intersectionality of so many issues that they all were suffering from. What
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
what does this represent for you? Is it a commentary on the flaws of human nature? Is it like not really an indictment on religion, but there are just so many ills that are being examined among these characters?
I mean, at its core, it's trying to explore extreme religion, like people that have this extreme relationship with faith, and the danger that poses. Because if someone is talking to God and convinced that God will speak to them, and they do not hear from God, then there is an absence and there's a void, and then the people have to fill that void, and they start to fill it with their own ideas. And that is a dangerous thing to do, because when you believe that there is that power out there, it can lead you to very dark, dangerous places. And so it's exploring sort of the place that religion plays or fills for characters that are traumatized. And you know, we start with a guy coming back from war who has seen horrible things, but doesn't have the ability to express himself or talk to anybody. And so he turns to religion and is essentially keeping those feelings inside and having this kind of quiet conversation with God that is getting him through. But then when things get really bad again, he goes to an extreme. And then his son has to live with the sins of his father. And sort of like, how does that kid, the next generation, either get stuck in that cycle or break it? And you know, every one of these characters is traumatized in some way by the sins of their parents. And we're seeing the sort of fallout from that.
Right. What made this even more impactful for me are just the characters who represent the roles. I have this little test where if I can remember all the character names from beginning to end without looking, then it's really resonating with me. And there's a lot of characters, and I was able to remember them and
Great.
what their connectivity were to each other. Not to mention, these are characters so far from removed from what the public normally sees them in. So it made it that much more impactful. Was it purposeful, these people in particular, or did you go through the usual, let me have a call and, you know, what was it about these selection of actors in particular for these roles?
I was just looking, I'm always into casting against type. I think that's really exciting. And I think that, but in general, you know, I'm excited by working with passionate people who are also really nice people to be around. And sort of, that's always the kind of, the two criteria that I'm looking for, like, you know, besides talent. And then in terms of like the full cast, it was really about trying to find a good mix of recognizable faces and then lesser known actors and complete unknowns. And I think that's the way you start to blend. You start blending those different actors into the same world, and they all kind of get, you know, then you start losing the sense of, oh, that's a famous person, that's a famous person. They just kind of all kind of fall into the you know, become one part of this tapestry. Right. So that's my thinking when I go into this kind of thing.
It was very mesmerizing. I'll probably watch it again. Thank you so much for your time, Antonio. I really appreciate it.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerds. Better shake your booties for black girl nerds.